In this segment, I'll be showing how to polish textured precious metal clay, art clay pieces just like this. I'll start off with the 220 grit 3M brush, 400 grit, 6 micron, 1 micron. Then I'm going to follow the top design with our 3S Scotchbrite wheel, that's the gray wheel. And I'm going to be using our felt wheel to polish using my JOOLTOOL compound. This felt wheel is usually a white color when you first get it. Mine is just used. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna hold the piece and look at all the little intricate designs that we have here. So I'm gonna make sure that these bristles flow into all those designs, kind of like a broom. So I just don't randomly just shove it everywhere. I strategically make sure, where's this video? Like if there's lines going here, I make sure the bristles sweep into the lines here. Or if there's lines here, I make sure they strategically sweep in there. So, you know, think about where you want to polish before grabbing your piece up against the wheel. So I'm going to run this at full speed, high speed. And again, I'll just follow the pattern. And you don't need to push very hard. They should sweep in already just on that light touch. If you guys see what I've done, the results should be quite immediate. So I'll continue doing the rest. Now I'm gonna leave some pieces. Make sure you get to the detail work. You see how I tilt it? Maybe work on this direction. Get the areas that I possibly have missed. And that should be fine. You see that? How we've got all those details. Now, I want to show one more thing. You're going to say, oh, well, this texture is pretty big. So I'll show you something that's smaller on the same scope. So again, I'll follow the design. And I'll already have this in effect. So the bristles will get into the hard to reach areas. So I'll go to the next step, which would be the blue one, 400 grit. Again, running at full speed. I'll follow each and every area that I went over. Switch it around. It's always good to use your finger and press up against it. That way you have stability. It's very nice. Give it one nice zhuzh. And we're already at this polish. You guys see that? Let's get it from another angle. Okay, so now after the 400 grit, we're going to be using the 6 micron. Now when you start getting into 6 micron, this should begin to produce a pre-polish. So at this stage, this will not remove any kind of detail work. And you can already see a nice, beautiful polish surfacing. Give it a nice fluid, kind of change up the pattern just a little. Again, one more shot like this. And I already have this pre-polished finish. Let's go ahead and just take a second to see how that has turned into a polish. Can you give me a zoom in on this? I want you guys to really see the polish. Hold on. Let's pull it back just a little. Okay, right here. Do you guys see that? From this to that, and we're not at the final polishing stage. Just wanted you guys to take a look at that up close. Okay, Should I leave the camera just like this? I'm gonna use the green brush. And again, I'm just gonna give it a nice polish. Now this is the final step. This will take it to a very, very high polish. So it doesn't matter how long how long you hold this to it. It's just gonna produce even a higher polish. It doesn't really remove much material at all. So don't be afraid to use this one wheel. So I glide over, change the pattern one more time, make sure I get into the nooks and crannies, the very tip. Okay, let me show you what this has produced. This has produced a beautiful high polish now from what we started with next. Now, to bring some of these detail work to a high polish, I would use the Scotchbrite in the felt wheel. This is the Scotchbrite in the felt wheel to bring those surfaces a little higher and just kind of make them pop just a little bit. But I just want to show you real quick how I'll finish the sides at this moment. So I'm going to hold it right here, and you see how stable I am? I'm going to lightly start moving it. Where I'm not moving around, I'm not on the edge. I can roll back and roll back if I want, but I want you guys to see that finish. Do you guys see how even that is? Do I have a nice shot of that? Yes, you can see that shine. Do you see how the shine follows it? And then we're right here. So I'm going to continue. And we can do the back side. Now, we could have used the brushes on this back side, but do you see how kind of uneven it is? It's a little lumpy. And that's the polish I'd get. I'd almost get a polished, lumpy surface. But the Scotchbrite will allow me to get much more smoother, professional finish. So I'm gonna hold it, but do you see how uneven it is? Just take a look at that, how uneven that is. It only touched the center part. So to get into those dips, if you will, I'll kind of feed it into the wheel using the edge. So I'll start off kind of like this, get in there. Kind of feed it in here too. And kind of go in this direction. Get all the way to that edge. And there we go. Okay. And I'll use the rest of this to polish with the felt. But I just wanted to show you how finished this edge is. Do you guys see how the light reflects how clean it is versus what it looked like when it was just fired? Do you see that? How even and uniform. Look at how the light wants to follow it. That's the makings of a beautiful professional polish. Okay, so next step is the felt wheel. And of course I'll use this with my polishing compound. Give yourself a nice amount. And I can go ahead and touch up some of the high areas to give a nice definition coming up. And then follow through with the sides. You guys see that already? Oh, the beautiful polish. And then I'll do the back side. And if you see that it's not polishing anymore, apply more compound. So I just do the other side. Again, I use that technique of kind of using the edge and getting in. And there we go. Beautiful polish. All right. So here I go. Let me just wipe this, anything that's compound left behind. So I have this beautifully polished backside with these extremely gorgeous finished edges and the surface looking beautiful. So we have before, after, and look at the final edges. Look at that. Gorgeous compared to that, and the back side compared to this. If you have any questions, please email us at support@jooltool.com and we'd love to help you out. If you need to also use anything smaller, I just wanted to let you guys know real quick that those brushes also can be found in smaller sizes, and you can incorporate using some of our polishing felt bobs. Happy jewel tooling!